And there are not a few who believe that the pace at which the Interpol International and Interpol Nigeria are working is quite interesting. They point to the fact that Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the proscribed group, IPOB, it didn't take long for them to grab him from the same Kenya and get him down to Nigeria, and he's facing justice now. That's why is this like a case of we're following process, diplomatic channels, etc., etc.
Believe you me, I want to tell you I don't know what you are talking about. All I know.
It seems not to know exactly what we are talking about here.
No. You are bringing an issue that Interpol is not aware of. You know, let me define the role of Interpol so that you can understand. Interpol is an international police organization that assists law enforcement agencies within the 196 countries to look for a fugitive that runs or is hiding. And if you look at all the other fugitives that are brought to face justice in Nigeria, they have the link, those who are involved with Interpol. So I don't know anything. I don't want to talk about issue of Kanu, who brought him back to Nigeria. I'm not aware how he was brought back to Nigeria or how he came into Nigeria. Interpol is not aware. We stated this long time ago, and we made it categorically clear. So it's not a question. There are what we call police-to-police relationship, international police cooperation. Another police, it does not necessarily bring Interpol. If one police and another exchange a suspect is running from them, they can have an international police cooperation that out of the scope of Interpol. However, if a notice is given to an individual, like blue notices, when the inmates in Kuje prison escaped, we did a biometric capture of those suspects, and we shared it with international communities. We shared it with our law enforcement agencies. Many of them were re-apprehended because we have their biometrics. Now, in the issue of red notice, where a red notice is issued under the federal court that issued that notice of arrest, that is warrant of arrest for such international. It will go to the Interpol, we'll process it, we'll look at it, we'll look at the charges, and then we'll issue a red notice. On that red notice, we bring back the culprit to face justice because all the 196 countries will be looking for that individual.
We sincerely like to thank you, retired Assistant Inspector General of Police, Garba Umar, who is currently the Vice President of Interpol Africa Region. Thank you, sir, for coming on the News Hour.
Thank you for having me.
Topic is concerning Interpol. They are saying they did not participate in the rendition of the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, from Kenya in 2021. And that particular denial was given by the Vice President of Interpol Africa, Garba Umar, during a television interview, specifically on News Central Television. What's your take on that? So if Interpol was not involved, then who did?
That will tell you the way they are looking at Nigeria. You know, all these lies is an embarrassment on its own.
No. Who is lying? Wait, Barrister, I want to clarify something. Who is lying? Interpol or the Nigerian government? The Nigerian government said it was in collaboration with Interpol.
Interpol, in fact, 110% right. If Interpol we are to be involved, they will tell you. They will be the ones to even hand over Nnamdi Kanu to the Nigerian government. They were never involved. But they wanted you to look at it, they carried a system follow due process. Remember, that was one of the reasons why the United Nations was angry with the Buhari government. They wrote a letter concerning that revision. And that is one of the reasons our courts here have condemned it. So they are not trying to make it look good that what they did was alright and they followed due process. That's why they are lying all over the place.
So if Interpol,
have come to clarify the because it's determining their image. That's a criminal offense.
But there is something.
If they do not clarify themselves, Interpol will not look like a rogue organization.
There is something that Umar.
All right. So the Interpol has washed their hands off the case of Nnamdi Kanu, saying that they do not have any hand in the kidnap, torture, and extradition of Nnamdi Kanu back to Nigeria. Then the bigger question is, who did this? And not only that they kidnapped him, they tortured him. Oh yes, in fact, the news we got was that Nnamdi Kanu has some marks on his body, meaning that they tortured him. You wonder how I got the information? Please watch this video.
If you describe to us when you see Nnamdi Kanu, how he be, what is in state of mind?
Well, his state of mind wasn't as sound as it should be. You know, if you listen to his broadcast, you would know that he's a historian. But when I was talking with him, he had trouble recalling the actual date he was abducted. It surprised me. So to jog his memory, I asked him how many nights he spent in Abuja before he was brought to court. He told me 2 nights. So he was brought to court on Tuesday, the 29th June. So we figured he must have been brought into the country on Sunday, the 27th. So when I mentioned that date, he said, sure, that's the date. But I took particular note of that. I also noticed that he had a visible injury on his right wrist. I asked him what it was. He said it was where they had chained him, put the chain on him, and chained him to the concrete floor in Nairobi, Kenya. And he has disappearing injury on the left wrist and an injury right here at the nape of the neck. He appears like somebody who has been mentally traumatized. You know, so he's unwilling to talk about one or two things until you prompt him. Like when I prompted him about the date, that's the conclusion I drew. How many nights he spent in Abuja. Is he afraid? No, he's not. He's traumatized.
Have you seen that? Now, the second question we may ask is this. Of course, we know that Nnamdi Kanu is a British. Yes. Why is it that since the arrest of Nnamdi Kanu, and in case you don't know, Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped. I call it a kidnap because totally it is a kidnap. He was kidnapped on the 27th day of June, 2021. Yes, this is 4 years plus now. Since then, Nigeria has just been messing up with him in court and so on and so forth. The British government, has not said anything in his case. And there is a law that says that anywhere in the country that a British is being held, that the British has the right to interfere. Oh yes, but in the case of Nnamdi Kanu, who is also a British, the British has not said anything about his case. Then the question is, why? I will show you the answer in the next video you are going to watch. Because I tell you that things are really, really happening. But you know, they are covering up to hide some things from us. So at this point, that is why I always tell you that you don't need somebody to tell you this is what is happening. You need to know it yourself. And that is why on this channel, anything I tell you, I show you the video to tell you that this is how it is happening. It is real. All you need to do is just to subscribe to this channel, because on this channel, I get you information of everything that is happening in Biafra land, in Oduduwa Republic, in Nigeria, and outside Nigeria as a whole. So all you need to do is just to subscribe. Now, please take a little time and watch this video. Then after watching it, maybe you understand the reason why this case is staying this long. And then you drop your comment on the comment section what you think about it, please.
Nobody is asking how Nnamdi Kanu was brought into Nigeria from Kenya. In fact, everybody has stopped asking. But that's a question that we should ask. Nnamdi Kanu is a British citizen. The British were also part of this whole thing, because it will never have succeeded without British support. The DSS has come out to say that they are not the ones that did it. The witness during Nnamdi Kanu's court case said that he was from airport. He received Nnamdi Kanu and took him straight to the DSS dungeon. Then you ask, who exactly carried out that mission? The British agency and Nigeria agency collaborated to pin Nnamdi Kanu down. That goes on to show you the reasons why there has been no effort by the British to support Nnamdi Kanu and make sure that his stay in DSS comes to an end and in fact gets his freedom. I'm saying this because the British have a mandate to protect their citizens who are facing trials in foreign countries. Yes. Yes. Fact check me. In fact, I'm going to read you something now to show you the rights of British citizens, to protection against unfair trials in foreign countries. And in fact, they have a mandate. The British consuls have a mandate to stand by a British citizen who is undergoing trial in foreign countries. And since Nnamdi Kanu has been going in this trial, have you seen the British recently come to his aid effectively? In fact, let me tell you, to add to you, the British fights against illegal detention against its citizens in foreign countries. Yes, they fight against it, they lobby against it until that person receives fair trial and fair sentencing. That is the extent the British can go in ensuring that anybody carrying their passport will never be left behind. Let me read you briefly on the role of the British, of the UK, in defense of the citizens around the world. Listen very carefully. Number one, the British provides consular support. Yes, from the embassy of the country that the person is being held, the British ensure that the person is tried in line with local and international, international standards. And also, it will raise concern if the trial process appears not to be fair or the rights of the person are being violated. This is one point of what the British does to ensure that their citizen is not being, witch hunted or so. And so far, Kanu has spent 4 years in the DSS dungeon. Have the British ever released any statements to say the trial was unjust? Because 4 years in DSS dungeon is not a trial. It is just even now recently that a trial had decided to begin officially. So why haven't the British come out to condemn or pressure the Nigerian government in trying this man rightly and making sure that Nnamdi Kanu doesn't languish in solitary confinement? That is food for thought. That is a food for thought. Number two, monitoring of the case. British consular officials may attend trials as observers. They can advocate for fair treatment but cannot get somebody actually out of jail or demand that the case to be dropped. Just like you said, they are supposed to be there during his trial in consular services. British embassies in Abuja just close by. How many white men did you see in the courts for the past few days? How many Igbo did you see in court? So supporting Nnamdi Kanu all this while, standing by their citizen. How many white men do you see? Nobody. They've abandoned this man because they are the ones that put him there. They are the ones that went to Kenya. They are the ones that played a major role in making sure that they assist in catching this man for the government. See, let me tell you something like that. Clear conscience fears no accusation. It is their conscience that is worrying them. How can you put somebody in cell and be coming to the cell to check the person? You cannot do it now because you are the one that put him there. Look at the courts. They're not even in the courts. You don't hear any statement from them. They have Twitter account, Facebook account, UK in Nigeria. UK government in Nigeria has accounts. Have you seen them tweet, say anything about the citizen? If Nnamdi Kanu was a white man now with that passport, you will never hear word in the House of Assembly in UK. You will never hear what they will talk about it until tomorrow comes. Let's keep on going. Diplomatic pressure. High-profile or controversial cases where due process or not followed or allegations of torture arises, the UK government may raise the case at diplomatic levels or with international bodies. Yes. That is what I'm trying to tell you. When this Gambayan of a man that had Binance had issue with the Nigerian government and he was nearly condemned to prison, what happened to him? The US government increased pressure, did everything possible to ensure that the man was, released and sent back to the country. They had to cancel all the trials, they had to cancel all the cases that he had. Everything struck off overnight, just because they had negotiated it and it has been accepted, and now he has been released. Whatever they did under the board, we don't know, but the countries agreed that this man should be released, and Nigerian government released him. What stopped UK government from going that same way to apply pressure to ensure that this man is also released? What stops the UK government from doing this same thing? What? Okay, let's go on. humanitarian and legal rights advocacy. The UK may push for improvements in prison conditions or medical care. In some rare instances, they might assist in appeals or requests for clemency, especially in death penalty. Nnamdi Kanu was sick the other day. He complained of his ear, his chest, his heart, everything was worrying the guy. Did you see UK government's pressure? He was even saying that he should go and see his doctor. They refused. The government refused. Did the UK now come and say, okay, we want our citizens to receive proper medical health care. We are sending in doctors. Okay, send in doctors from UK or from the embassy to take care of this man. Did you send any doctor? Nothing. They've abandoned this man. And what do you think? They abandoned him because they are the ones who put him there. These imperialists are not to be trusted at all. They can do anything for resources. Anything for resources. They can throw anybody under the bus for natural resources. It's always for the greater good of their country all the time. They don't mind. Number 5, no legal representation. The UK government does not pay for legal costs or represent citizens in court. That one is okay. Kanu never ask anybody, to pay his legal fees. He never asked anybody to represent him. All he wants is consular support. Yes, consular support is UK support. Your country supports you, backing you. It goes a long way. It's like somebody, you have a problem with somebody, you don't have anybody to protect you or to stand for you. People look at you, where's your father? You know they, your mother, you know they, your brother, you don't have, your sister, you don't have. They can do you anything they like because you don't have anybody. But why would the UK come and provide such support when they are the ones that actually put him in that place? It's the UK that put Nnamdi Kanu in that cell he is now. They are the ones that bonded Nnamdi Kanu on behalf of Nigerian government. I will say it again, clearly. I will say it again because even recently, like I said, the DSA said they are not the ones that arrested Nnamdi Kanu. Until today, no other security agency has come out to claim that they are the ones that rendition Nnamdi Kanu, leaving us with 2 options: the Kenyan government itself or the UK security M13. Yes. Security agents of the UK, the CIA of the UK. Among the 2, who do you think? And even the Kenyan government has come out to say that they did not do it, leaving us now with only one option. The UK. They are the ones that use their agents on behalf of Nigeria to abduct this man and send him back to Nigeria. Dumped him there. Never even came out to represent him because they are the ones that put him there. Did not show any body language matters in life. See, I want to advise all of you watching this video. Watch out for body language. People's body language around you matter. The body language of the UK in Nnamdi Kanu's case, is it not obvious enough for the past 4 years? Is it not obvious enough to show you? When people are showing you who they are, take it. Stop giving excuses for them. People show you who they are. That's who they are. Stop looking for ways to pamper and say, maybe he's not, maybe. I just to show you who he be. Now that person, I saw him be. Take it for your own sake. The UK have shown who they are with this abduction of Nigeria. They have shown, even if you didn't believe before, but for the fact that for the past 4 years, they have never come out to show any form of support. Because if they had shown support, Nnamdi Kanu would not be in the DSA dungeon for 4 years doing nothing. Rolling up and down the walls of the room there, from one end to one end to one end to one end, from one book to one book, if he even allowed to read any book safe. Lying down, facing the sun, bending down, facing the ground. They will never allow the citizen to be in the cell for more than a few days without trial. But the UK is seeing it. And his passport is just there, and they allow it. What does it tell you? The witch cried in the night, and the child died in the morning. Not the coincidence. No country can set any man free. No group. Only God can grant a man freedom. And once God decides to grant any man freedom, everybody will start working in favor of that man. And everything will start turning around to favor him. I declare today that everything starts working in favor of Nnamdi Kanu to secure his release. Everybody around him, those people who have rejected him, those people who incarcerated him, will from today start working to secure his release. And Nnamdi Kanu definitely will be released very soon, sooner than expected. The way it will happen will shock everyone. But so far, he has remained unbroken, unbowed, unbended, unshaken, formidable. And like I said, he is in the cell, hell-bound, but he is still not living in bondage. The lion himself. It doesn't matter who kidnaps you. Remain strong. One day, all this will end.
That's the way I describe it. But the truth is that Nnamdi Kanu has been held hostage. He was abducted from Kenya, extraordinary rendition. The fact that his kidnapped from Kenya could not be explained shows that any judicial pronouncement or process after that is null and void. You cannot go and kidnap somebody and bring them before a court. And the courts have made it very clear, even up to the Supreme Court, that he did not jump bail. It was the military that went to his house to kill people, and then he escaped. And now you have brought him back, you ought to respect and restore his bail. That's what I told his lawyers. Why are you applying for bail again? Because the Supreme Court made all the pronouncements except releasing him. And I think it was because they were afraid. And that's why I said he's a hostage to this country. And like you rightly said, there are other people who have made even more egregious pronouncements and fought and carried arms in this country. And you have not treated them the same way because they're not Nnamdi Kanu's, their name don't sound East. And I'm not here to fetish being able. But the reality is that they are not treated fairly, and Nnamdi Kanu is part of the reason why that is clear to everybody.
Right.
And by the way, I must also reveal here that there are some Igbo elites who are behind this. You know, whenever there's a crime of conspiracy against freedom fighters, there are people inside and outside who are working together.
For me, quote unquote, kidnapped, you can say intercepted as much as you want, but I think that Kanu was kidnapped. And that is wrong internationally, and it's wrong morally.
Releasing Nnamdi Kanu because his continuous detention is an illegality. The courts have said so, international bodies have said so, everybody knows so.
All right.
So if you continue to keep him there, and then you expect some miracle to happen, that the people of Nnamdi Kanu will maintain law and order, it's not going to happen.
Okay. Now, Chief, before we talk about local government autonomy, one last question on insecurity. Do you approve of Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB's method in the process for agitation, for self-determination?
No, I don't approve of it. I don't approve of any form of violence. I don't approve of any form of separation. I don't approve of it. But as to what they are doing is legitimate, of course it's legitimate. But I don't approve of it. I would prefer for us to live in one country. I would prefer a situation where we have one Nigeria. The more, the merrier. But let there be fairness. Let there be equity in that arrangement. Where the equity is lacking, certainly people must agitate to live an unjust marriage.
All right. So, what do you make of it? Wahala. Drop your comment in the comment section. I will see you in my next video. Thank you very much, and may God continue to bless you.